Hello and welcome to another Bad Comic Review. This time we are looking at Curse of Brimstone, Issue 2. This is written by Philip Tan and Justin Jordan. Justin Jordan did the dialogue. Rain Bered did the colors. Wes Abbott letterer. Tannen Briedo cover. Brian Cunningham, group editor. Jessica Chen, editor. Okay, so I thought I'd give this book a second chance. I really didn't like the first book, but oh my gosh. The first book looks like it was written by Alexander Dumas when compared to this trash. We have the same art style, which, like I said, I didn't care for, but I can recognize that there's some talent there. It's a lot of heavy line work, and the colors are really good. The colorist did a great job. And the letterer did a good job. But he earned his paycheck. Yeah, Wes Abbott earned probably more than his paycheck because this book is just a lot of talking. Like, it reads like a bad episode of Dragon Ball Z where they have to recap everything. Well, I don't need a recap on every single thing that literally just happened. You know how we left off the first issue with like these big fire tornadoes and the guy's like, oh my gosh, they're gonna destroy my hometown. Yeah, well, we just kind of gloss over that in this one. It picks up with him talking to the salesman and we get a couple of interspersed cuts of the town being burned. That's it. We don't know really what happened. It's just kind of, there's some dialogue balloons, but I lost interest real fast because it was like reading freaking paragraphs. I do not want to read War and Peace poorly written. He wakes up in bed naked, where his sister found him on the side of the road and took him home apparently, and he doesn't remember any of that. And they didn't bother to show any of us, because it's just lazy writing. And then he sort of transforms a little bit, and burns his sister a little bit, charges his bed, whatever. He finally puts some pants on. It's weird being naked in your room, and you're then get up and start putting clothes on in front of your sister. That's weird. So they decide to get on the internets, which suddenly work again conveniently, and we learn about some other mysterious happenings, and they go to the bit thing to all the trouble to put in boldface that they're on a subreddit. Ooh, somebody knows what a subreddit is. You're so hip with the kids. Then they say, oh, this can't be happening, and he's like, it's already happening. And then there's this Frost chick that grabs their dad, and they break into the York Hills Inn to find out more about this guy, and oh my gosh, he's only got some clothes there, nothing else. It's like he's not even a real person. Actual dialogue. Yeah, you know what? When some business people travel, they just take suitcases full of clothes and leave them in their hotel rooms. Why? Because the guy had a car. I bet his work stuff is in, I don't know, his car. Anyway, the phone starts ringing, then their cell phones ring, and they're like, that's not right, all the phones are ringing. No, it isn't. That's two things of dialogue right there. That's not all right, the phones are ringing, and she says, no, it isn't. Okay, yeah. You know where I saw that sort of thing last? Was in the Mothman Prophecies with Richard Gere, like a decade ago. Alright, so of course, she says, we need to think, Joe, and he's like, no we don't. So he's gonna transform, Ice Lady shows up, there's some sort of fight scene, and they start to go at each other, fire versus ice, of course, and she swings at him in one panel, and he's like, you hurt me! All surprised, like, oh my gosh, you can't be hurt? Where'd you get that idea? Nobody even explained to you what your actual powers are, and he thinks he can control all this already? That's okay, I guess we're doing that. This really read to, oh, and it ends on a cliffhanger with his sister running over both of them in a car. It's dumb. This really felt like poorly written Silver Age DC. The dialogue is atrocious. The plot is very thin. It's very convoluted in a way, but also overly simplistic. Like anything you think about it is going to be overthinking it and probably putting more work into it than the actual writers did. But the dialogue, I think, is the weakest part. I think that it's very amateur hour, and I don't care for it. The scene on the cover with the guy with the axe, nah, that doesn't even happen in here. That's got nothing to do with anything. This is just some talky piece about the guy and his sister spending way too much time having too long of conversations and not actually talking about anything. So they tried to hurry the storyline along, and it feels very rushed, but at the same time, nothing is actually getting done until the last like 2 or 3 pages when this Ice Lady shows up and he's got to fight her for whatever reason. So they're trying real hard to be mysterious, and it's just not working. I think the character of Brimstone could be really good if it was handled better by say, better creative team. When he's in the Brimstone outfit, the imagery is actually pretty good. I like the way that character is drawn, but overall, I don't like the art style. I understand a lot of people do, that's fine. I could live with it if the writing was better, but it's just absolutely, completely trash writing. Yeah, I would avoid this one. It was a waste of $3. I'm not going to pick this book up anymore, I don't think, until there's a new creative team, but more likely it'll just get canceled within a year. So this was a huge miss for me, and I'm not going to recommend it. But that'll do it for this one. As always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel. If you liked the video, please hit like and consider subscribing, and we hope to see you on the next one.